Today, we're going to be catching some awesome fish, having a great time, seeing amazing sights, and let's just get into the video, guys. So boom, guys, this is my first drop of the day. I'm down here on the bottom. It's around 40 feet. It's just a little warm-up drop. I'm spotting these fish on the bottom, trying to see which fish I want to shoot. I'm trying to get some chum for later in the dive, so I'm looking around. I spot some nine-eyes, some palanis, and I'm just trying to pick out which fish I really want to catch today. So I'm just lining up my gun, waiting for the right fish to present me a good shot. All these little black fish are kind of in the way, so it's making it tough to shoot one of the fish. But I'm just waiting and trying to line up the shot. I see this 9-eye is approaching me, giving me a decent shot, or I'm lining up on the Palani first, and then I'm going to switch over to the 9-eye because the Palani's not going to give me a good shot. So I switch my gun over right now. I spot a nice 9-eye, and I'm lining my gun up on him, waiting for him to turn his head and present me a shot, and bam, right here, I nail him. Bam, guys, so I'm taking another drop down here to the bottom. It's around 30 to 40 feet again. Pretty shallow, just shallower diving for us today. But I'm down here on the bottom, and I spot not too much from the surface, but I get down here, I spot some unicorn fish, and I'm trying to grab my flasher because I dropped it down to the bottom. I'm just inching over, looking all around, trying to see if there's any fish I want to shoot, maybe some ukus or stuff. We're in the grassland type of area, and I'm just down here on the bottom waiting, just relaxed, calm, trying to see if anything's going to come over and present a shot. I'm looking around, trying to see if anything's gonna come over really, but doesn't seem like nothing's gonna come over too much, and I decide to head up to the surface. Alright guys, this is a pretty cool drop. I dropped my flasher down to the bottom because I spotted some ukus from the surface. So I get down here to the bottom and I'm looking around and I don't really see any, but then I turn my head and I spot a bunch of small ukus off into the distance, and I'm trying to pick out the biggest one so I can get for some meat tonight. Line up, take a nice shot, hit him right in the gill plate, and land this nice fish. He starts ripping line a bit, and it's pretty sick. Pedro tries to take a drop on this school of fish. He gets down here into the bottom, looking around, he lines up the shot right there, shoots him, and he lands a nice uku too, which is pretty sick. Both of us got one. Guys, so I took another drop on that same exact school, and I'm trying to go down here and shoot one. I line up and my muzzle wraps right here. Alright guys, so when I was on the surface, a whale swam right underneath me. I couldn't get it all on film, but I seen the whale and he swam right underneath me, and it was pretty sick. That was my first time ever seeing him in the water. So I'd go down here to the bottom again, right underneath that whale, just trying to see if maybe he'll come back and I can spot him, but he doesn't end up. Alright guys, this is another drop I took. I'm not very proud of this drop, to be honest. I spotted a big uku from the surface, and instead of trying to wait, get a nice breathe up, I rushed it and dropped down to the bottom pretty fast, and I had a short breathe up on this bottom. This is probably like around another 10-pounder. This one is pretty sick. If I would have had a longer breath hold, I maybe would have been able to land him. I take a lunge on him, and I kind of whiffed the shot. It was a far shot, and I probably should have breathed up longer. Alright guys, so I took another drop down just around in that same area where I spotted the big uku. So I get down here to the bottom, and I'm just trying to get him a bit more relaxed and see if he'll maybe come back. You can see there's that coral structure right next to me, and I'm just waiting to see if he's gonna come back around. So I'm down here on the bottom, just kind of laying down my body inside of the grassland, just waiting and chilling, trying to see what fish will come over to me. Maybe the big one, maybe it's a smaller ukus, whatever, we'll see. Maybe some veinonos, just depends on what's down there. But I'm looking off into the distance trying to spot a fish. I'm not really seeing too much. I mean, there's like a couple smaller ukus off into the distance, but I just decided to like head up to the surface because there was nothing really down there I wanted to shoot. Alright guys, this one is pretty sick. I take another drop and I see this nice corally structure down on the bottom, so I'm heading down here to the bottom. I'm trying to land next to it, but I kind of swam down right on top of it, so I kind of spooked a couple of the fish on top of it. And I get down here to the bottom, and you can just see there's a lot of good fish all around me. I mean, there's ukus, there's like yellow spot papillos, there even is veinonos around me. So I'm just trying to line up on these veinonos because they're the closest to me, and they're giving me a pretty decent shot. So I'm just waiting, trying to line up a nice shot on these veinonos. I'm lunging over to them a little bit and just trying to see if they're gonna come back over to me and give me a nice shot. I lunge right here, you can see, line up on this veinono, take a nice shot, and hit him right in the gills. Pretty sick to see. So I had to go back down here to the bottom because Pedro tried to take a drop on these veinonos and he shot one, but he couldn't end up recovering my veinono. So I'm going down here on the bottom trying to spot him because I got a gut shot on him, and I can't really pull him up to the surface without him ripping off when he has a gut shot. So I'm swimming down here to the bottom. You can spot him right here. I try to grab him. He's pretty big for a veinono, so he has some fight left in him, swimming all around, but I end up managing to grab him right here and pull him up to the surface. Bam, guys, so you can see I'm back down here on the bottom. You can spot my flasher right there. I tried dropping that from the top to see if it would bring in any fish. So I get down here to the bottom and you can spot there's a couple fish around. I mean, all over there's been fish today, but you can see off into the distance there's some more veinonos. So I'm trying to line up and get another veinono because they're pretty good eating fish and I love to eat these guys. So I'm waiting. I line up a shot. I probably should have taken the shot right here, but instead they kind of just swim away and I just end up taking a long shot and end up whiffing on these guys, which is pretty sad. Alright guys, so you can see there's this nice coral structure again with a lot of life, honestly. I mean, there's big menpachis inside of that hole. There's a bunch of go fish. It's pretty loaded over here, to be honest, but I'm trying to go down here to the bottom and lie down in this sand and attract some fish over to me. So I get down here onto the bottom, lay my gun down on top of the sand and just wait and see what will come over to me. You can see off into the distance there's some ukus, some yellow spots, but they're all a bit on the smaller side. So I'm trying to wait and see if that big boy is gonna come around. So I'm just chilling right here, just relax, just doing the best thing you can do, just attract the fish over by being calm on the bottom. So I'm waiting. You can see there's a nice uku over there, but I don't end up shooting him and I swim up. As you can see, Pedro got his gun line all tangled up in the coral reef, the same spot I just took a drop in. So I'm trying to go down here to the bottom and untangle him. He shot a polani so we could use for chum and trying to attract those big ukus back over to us. I'm trying to untangle it right now. He has the mono, so it's kind of like he can't pull it out very easily, but you can see off into the distance there's a couple fish. I'm just trying to wait and see. Maybe something will come up to all that commotion down on the bottom, but they don't, and I swim up. Guys, so I take another drop right here. I spotted multiple fish from the surface, so I'm heading down here to the bottom. You can see I'm down here on the bottom. There's a lot of life again. You can see that nice moana collie. He's a little bit on the smaller side, but he's still a shooter because I needed some fish, so I'm lining up the shot, waiting for him to present a good shot. I don't want to chance it with this guy because I know he's just going to stay around me. So I'm lining up right here, waiting for him to present a good shot. You can see he swims a little bit, presents me a nice shot, take the shot, and land this nice fish. Alright guys, and as I'm taking my final drop of the day, I get down here to the bottom, just relax. I already have a lot of fish today, so I'm just kind of waiting to see if anything really good is going to come over to me. And I'm just down here on the bottom doing what I always do, chilling, and you can see this goatfish comes right over to me and just wants to die, so I just shoot him right in the head.